Is that going to suspend? You know, maybe not, but at least you can put in some. You can put in something of a useful version of it that's going to cross the blood-brain barrier, not a 4% daily value of choline. Like, I could take a bite of beef liver and get like 10 times the choline. What's up, guys? Derek, moreplates.com. Today we're going to be talking about The Rock's energy drink. The guy is launching goddamn every product imaginable at this point. The guy is so diversified, it's fucking absurd. He has put out something called ZOA energy drink, and it is apparently the best energy drink for 2021 according to dietitians. Best ZOA zero sugar, expert recommended. Fucking 3D cans flying all over the place. We got zero sugar, lemon lime. We got this, we got that, we got original, we got wild orange. Awesome news to share with you guys. Our ZOA Energy is officially voted one of the best energy drinks in the market by dietitians who are experts on what's healthy. Praying, flexing. We're a small but mighty company who take pride in, like, are you small, bro? Like, I guess objectively compared to like a Monster Energy or something, but it's like, you're the fucking Rock, dude. We're a small but mighty company who takes pride, like it's like giving the perception of like, oh, we're like the small, like family owned little business. It's like, bro, you have like the biggest fucking Instagram like ever. We're a small but mighty company who takes pride in delivering quality energy to our loyal and growing ZOA consumers. We're loaded with vitamins, antioxidants, aminos, electrolytes, superfood, camu, and clean energy. We'll continue to work hard creating new and innovative formulations for our ZOA family to enjoy. Thank you, and enjoy your ZOA. Fucking fireworks, bro. DJ founder, ZOA, best of 21, first place gold medal. Fuck you. Food porn, heart, fire. Good engagement comment, food porn. You're fucking killing it. Crazy, fucking flying stars ×2. Good engagement. Comparison. I'm waiting you. Good promotion. What the fuck? Heart. So sad today. What the fuck? She's just like, damn, dude. Like, how many of these chicks just like hop on like the most irrelevant shit and try, like, I guess it got me to preview the profile. I'm so sad today. Like, I guess, you know, made me fucking hover. So interesting. Shocked face. Flex. Like, can you imagine like just fucking sitting here and being like, you know what is a logical rebuttal for a human to say? Shooting star. Fucking heart fire. Like, sick, dude. So anyway, let's see what is in the formula after all. It is, liked by Chris Hemsworth, go figure. So we are on ZOA Original Zero Sugar. We have one can, is 15 calories. Like these, you know, like zero sugar, I think a lot of people think by default they're 0 calorie. They are not. You know, granted it's fairly negligible, but you should, you know, be mindful that there is some calories in these. Not that it's even relevant for 99% of us, but, you know, nonetheless, I think a lot of people for some reason think 0 sugar equals 0 calorie. It does not. So let's see, we have our classic underdose multivitamin blend that all of these energy drinks use. We have our 25% vitamin D, our 100% vitamin C, our riboflavin, our vitamin B6, our B12, our magnesium at 2% of my intake. Fuck yeah, bro. Potassium, less than 2% of my intake. Thiamine, niacin, folate, pantothenic acid, choline at 20 milligrams. So again, the thing with energy drinks that you have to give a little bit of leeway to The Rock or any other creator is, and I've looked into this because I'm probably going to make one for Gorilla Mind at some point, is suspending this shit can be problematic to a point where if you want to include an efficacious dose of certain ingredients, you simply cannot, because they will not stay in suspension in a carbonated fucking can. So they're definitely, it should be expected that the dosages in an energy drink will not equate, unfortunately, to that of a efficaciously dosed like single serving like pre-workout. So if you were, hypothetically, if I was to make like Gorilla Mode Energy Stim, like, you know, it used to be called Stim, now it's called Energy for more mass appeal. If you didn't know that, you know, that's why I kind of refer to it interchangeably, but Gorilla Mode Stim, also known as Gorilla Mode Energy, that formula in itself, I was like, okay, how do I put this in a can? I looked into it, and you can't, dude. You can't suspend that much shit, unfortunately. You have like 3 grams of L-tyrosine, had like a fuck ton of caffeine, N-phenethyl dimethylamine citrate, a gram of Kana. Like, this shit would not work. So I understand when some of this stuff has to be a little like, you know, underdosed proportionally to what you would see in an actual like energy enhancing formula like a pre-workout powder that, you know, you can deal with it being powder and putting it in a glass and mixing it and dealing with, you know, it falling out of suspension consistently because you just fucking shake it every 2 seconds. But with a carbonated drink, you can't exactly do that. So here, the ingredients are listed in descending order of how concentrated it is in the formula. So you know that if it's at the bottom, it's one of the lowest dose things. If it's at the top, it's the highest dose. So the highest dose shit, we have like carbonated water, citric acid, natural flavor, sodium citrate, anything of note. The first thing is the amino acid profile: L-leucine, L-valine, isoleucine, glutamine, arginine, L-citrulline. Like you're almost looking at like a BCAA complex in this fucking energy drink. Why would you have that exactly? I don't know. This is something you would use ideally like for me, if I'm using an energy drink, I'm not using it post-workout, you know? Like, so if I'm going to use something to spike mTOR and muscle protein synthesis, it would be in a post-workout context and or, you know, for actually eating a meal. It would not be concurrently with stimulants that are actually going to hinder digestion. So no, I don't understand why companies do this shit. It makes absolutely no sense to me. If this is going to be a pre-workout, like, the timing of this shit, like why? Like separate it. Make it an amino acid product separately that's actually an efficacious dose of essential amino acids, the full spectrum, not a, you know, smorgasbord of singular versions of this, of branch chains, and having not the full spectrum of essentials, and then putting it in a something that would be a pre-workout or an energy drink formula. And like, some people want to stay fasted too when they use this shit. They don't want mTOR spike. They want to use this before going to work, before doing productivity shit. You know, they don't want to be like, this is like the paradoxical inclusion of these ingredients, like kind of doesn't make sense to me when I see companies doing it consistently. Like maybe they're just like, what can I suspend in here that'll actually fucking suspend? And that's what they come up with. You know, maybe I'll find that out when I'm making mine. And that's why they do it. But to me, like objectively, as a formulator looking at the formula, I'm like, why would I want to be hitting myself with leucine and spiking mTOR when I'm trying to get energy with caffeine? Like, I want muscle protein synthesis when I'm in a rest and digest state. I'm like ready to eat and I'm ready to recover, not when I'm trying to get like stimulated and hyped up and get my sympathetic drive going. It's like the most two paradoxical fucking outcomes ever. Potassium citrate, vitamins, ascorbic acid, niacinamide, calcium. Yeah, like none of this shit is really relevant, to be honest. It's just random stuff you would find in your food. Ideally, you would be getting this through your diet already. And worst case scenario, you'd be getting an efficacious dose through a properly made multivitamin, not random amounts of, not a full spectrum of vitamins and minerals in a energy drink. Beta carotene color, natural caffeine, 160 milligrams caffeine per can, you know, not too much, not too little, seems like a decent amount chosen. Let's see, magnesium lactate, sucralose, green tea extract. You know, we don't know how much is in here. We don't know how much ECGC there is. We don't know, you know, it's a prop blend essentially. So you just kind of gotta hope that it's good, but it's at the bottom of the totem pole for the descending order of concentration. So I'm not expecting too much out of that. Acerola juice powder. Okay. Another filler / sweetening. Choline bitartrate. So this is something I would be looking at as, you know, let's put some choline donors in there. Let's put some acetylcholinesterase inhibitors in here. Let's do something that's actually useful in a cognitive context in this shit, rather than just putting in caffeine and fucking a shit ton of B12. So I like the thought of putting choline in. However, they have 20 milligrams of choline bitartrate, which is like the most garbage form of choline you can be using. Like, why would you not be looking at alpha GPC? Like, you're probably not going to be able to suspend an adequate amount to get like an efficacious dose that I consider to be like good, you know, something equivalent to that used in some of the acute force production studies, as well as the Alzheimer's models. That's the kind of shit I would want in an energy drink. Not 20 milligrams of choline bitartrate, like literally fucking 600 to 1200 of alpha GPC is what I'd want to see. But is that going to suspend? You know, maybe not, but at least you can put in some. You can put in something of a useful version of it that's going to cross the blood-brain barrier, not a 4% daily value of choline. Like, I could take a bite of beef liver and get like fucking 10 times the choline. So like, I don't know. Like, to me, this is almost just like sprinkled in for the sake of it being there. Like 20 milligrams, bro. Like what? Like why? Other than just saying it's in there when it's like really barely in there. Camu extract and turmeric. You know, I like curcumin for its, you know, potential anti-inflammatory effects, anti-carcinogenic shit. You know, obviously speculative, but promising data to reinforce that potentially. Camu, I have no experience with, to be honest, but in general, is this formula decent? Like I don't really think there's any energy drinks that are like good, except for ones that are being made by actual supplement company formulators who actually understand how to make nootropic formulas. People that are just putting out like mainstream appealing shit like ZOA, Monster, shit like that. Like the focus is more on taste, consumer appeal, marketing, branding, and then that's it kind of. They focus on it being like zero sugar, and the basis of the formula is around the caffeine and it tasting good. Which is good. If people like it, then that makes it a good enough product, and it'll be competing with the likes of Monster, Red Bull, Rockstar, etc. But this is not a formula that impresses me from an energy drink perspective. I basically see flavored carbonated caffeine with some random shit that you would see in a multivitamin, a bad one, So for me, is this novel? Is there anything good in here that is enhancing cognitive function, memory formation, information retention, mental acuity, sharpness, any of that shit above and beyond the sympathetic drive enhancement you might get from caffeine in a force production context or in a mental clarity context, a wakefulness context? Is there anything in here that's that useful for, being a choline donor, an acetylcholinesterase inhibitor, anything that is going to work in some, novel way in an energy drink? No, like I don't see anything that fucking good in here. It's a very basic run-of-the-mill energy drink that hopefully tastes good. And if it does, then it's good enough to be, fucking sellable. But this is not something that impresses me. This is not something that I would sell personally. But I'm sure this is something I'd probably buy if I was at a gas station and I wanted a good tasting energy drink to sip on the road or whatever. If this is better than Monsters or as good, maybe I'd give it a shot. So that's my stance on it. You guys asked for the review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think if you have tried it. How does it stack up to Monster, Rockstar, or any of the other, mainstream products? Let me know in the video description below. All the comments help the algorithm. They're much appreciated. Like, subscribe, check out my blog, moreplatesmoredates.com. Follow me on Instagram at moreplatesmoredates. Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts, any other podcast platforms. I'm on Spotify, etc. If you want to support the channel, you can check out anything I'm associated with in the video description below, as well as my formulas for pre-workouts and nootropics, Gorilla Mind, nootropic formulas, efficaciously dosed with stacked versions of the ingredients, as well as other very useful agents in a mental context that I discussed, briefly in this video. But if you want to see an elaborate deep dive, you can check out my Gorilla Mind Smooth breakdown, for example, or any of my pre-workout breakdowns, or like a fucking documentary an hour and a half long. So it just shows how much pride I put behind these formulas and how much thought I put into them too. Like I don't see any fucking companies doing that. So Gorilla Mind, video description below, like I said. Hopefully we will have an energy drink at some point. It is one of the least easy to sell products because it weighs so much. It's so hard to ship. The margins are so shitty, but it's something I'm like very, very passionate about getting out at some point. So once we're positioned where our catalog is expansive enough, where we have all of our bases covered from shit I've wanted to make and nothing else makes sense to get into, we will probably be digging into the energy drink market, and I'll be making a Gorilla Mind energy drink at some point. And I don't know about you guys, but like when I look at the gorilla on Gorilla Mind, like when I see that gorilla, I don't know, like I feel like if that was like big on a fucking giant energy drink can with that like sort of in the background, a bit like transparent with good like tactile fucking printing on the can, I feel like if I walked into a gas station, like saw it on the shelf, just from a branding perspective, I actually think I might like look to that before I look at a Monster or a Reign or something, or I'll at least like see it. Maybe I won't think it's like the premier option, but I'll at least notice it rather than some of the other shit that kind of like blends into the background and you don't even notice when you're seeing the Monsters and the Reigns and shit like that. So like, I don't know. I think from a branding perspective, it could look pretty cool with the black and the red theme that we have, as well as this gorilla with the, our classic Gorilla Mind, kind of being just like fucking huge and like glaring at you while you're making your selection. And I'm I can literally envision it in my head, and hopefully it's a reality within the next year. That would be cool. So one of the goals on the to-do list, so watch out for that. Anything else I'm associated with that supports the channel, it is all in the video description below. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.